Hi friends! So today we're going to make this darling angel out of old-fashioned clothespins. So first off, I'm just going to start by painting it burnt umber. And I got these clothespins on Amazon, and the link will be below the video. So I'm just getting it all covered with a little paintbrush, and then once I get it all covered, I'm going to use a baby wipe and wipe off all the excess. So it looks more stained than painted, a little more rustic and weathered and older. Excuse me. Just getting off all the excess. And then I get it all over my hands and fingers. I really should wear a glove, but I'm just a messy crafter. Okay, now I'm just giving it a quick dry. So I got this lace on Temu, and I didn't measure the width, but I take about 10 inches of it, and I think it's probably about 2.5 inches wide. But I'm folding it in half and making the ends meet there in the middle. Just putting a line of hot glue, and then I'll glue it together there. And then I'm getting a little tiny bit of Spanish moss. I'm just going to put a little bit of hair on this one. The first one I showed you, I didn't, but this one's getting a little bit of hair on top of the head. Making sure it's all glued on, and then I'm trimming off all the extra. I'm just working with it, trying to decide how I want to gather it in the middle. But first I decided to do the halo. So I've got some of this kind of a bronzy colored wire that I got on Amazon, and the link below will be below as well. And I can't remember the gauge. I want to say it's 16 gauge, but I will make sure on that when I link it below. So I wrapped it around a paintbrush just to get the circle part, and then I made the circle and then wrapped the ends together kind of around each other. And now I'm just gluing it on the back of its head really, really well. And I'm letting it sit there for a moment while that glue dries. It's kind of a big clump of glue, so it's going to take a moment. Before I do anything else, I want to make sure it's dry so it doesn't move. So now I'm putting some glue on the lace. This is going to be the wings, and I didn't put enough on it, so I keep having to work with it. Put a little bit more on, and have to hold it and make sure it's holding before I let it go. So just gathering it in the middle. Then putting a big dab of glue on it and putting it on the back of the angel, on the back of the clothespin. Just kind of fluffing the wings a little bit. Now I'm wrapping some, this is a little bit thinner twine around my fingers, I think around 3 times, and then I take the end and wrap it around the center of the bow 2 or 3 times, and then cut it, making sure I've left enough for the tails. And just putting a dot of glue in the middle of that clothespin and holding it there. Just kind of fluffing the bows and trimming it up as needed. Then I have these wooden heart buttons. So I'm going to put one right in the center of that bow. And I thought about leaving it just the wood color, the dark wood. And I may on some others, but I decided to paint this in vanilla colored folk art paint. So I'm just taking a tiny little paintbrush and a little dab of the paint on there and just spreading it on top of the heart. Just being real careful to go to the edge, not over the edge. I think that looks really cute like that. So I decided to put a little tag on it. So I just cut a piece of craft paper, probably about 3/4 of an inch wide, and then about 2 inches long, but I decided it was a little too long. So after I get it done, then I realize I have to cut it down a little bit. But now I'm just using distress ink and really getting the edges distressed and inked up. Now I'm folding it and creasing it and just making it look older, and I'm taking my scissors and just scraping the edge of the tag just to make it look more weathered and old. Then I'll glue it under that twine bow, but this is where I realized it was just a little too long still, so I had to cut it down just a bit. And that was better, and so I'm just putting a dab of glue on that and putting it under the twine. And now I just cut off a tiny piece of the lace, the cheesecloth, the tea-dyed lace, and putting a little square on the white lace, and then vice versa on the brown. And these are it. I hope you like them. I hope that you get inspired to make one of your own. And again, everything will be below, the links and everything. And please like and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much. I appreciate you watching.